Hi! Security isn't guaranteed. This is under sustainability. As you know, my channel is about sustainability and affordability. Sustainability is survival. Affordability is survival. Just about everything that I'm going to talk to you about is someone whose next birthday is going to take me to 80. It's going to be about elder wisdom. What have I learned? What pops out as things I wish I'd known, gosh, when I was 25. Oh, boy, that would have been fabulous. Actually, I wish I'd known it a lot earlier than that. I had rheumatic fever as a child. My friends had polio. My dad came back from Korean War with PTSD. A lot of bomb shelters were being built because there was this whole Cold War thing going on. Not necessarily did anything work, but I learned that having rheumatic fever 2 months pregnant could have ended up in having an extremely disabled child. I also had very bad, what's it called? Being immunity, lack of iron. I was just off the scale. They fed me so much iron, it was crazy. Anyway, the point is, I was raped. So I learned that you can't count on not being raped. You can't count on not being sick as a kid, and you can't count on not being sick as a kid pregnant. You can't count on having a healthy child. Wow, that's an awful lot to learn by the time you're 15. And learn that your parents wouldn't believe you. He did, the boy did, he knew what he did, his parents believed it, but nobody else. Crazy. Oh yeah, the nuns did, and the priest where I went to stay while I was pregnant. So I learned at an early age, security can't be guaranteed. Okay, now, but that's only a little bit. Now think about it. I just saw a movie last night with my husband. It was a kind of a sci-fi thing where 6 girls in high school, which is exactly what happened to my husband when he was teaching high school a few years ago, were pregnant all at the same time. Well, it turned out they had a pact where they were all going to be pregnant and have their children and raise them together. And how wonderful it would be to have 6 healthy babies by 6 bright mothers who were great friends, and they were going to be able to raise the babies together. Can you see the picture right away? How are they going to know that each of them is going to have a healthy baby, or 2, or 3? I just read about a lady the other day, friend of a friend. At 58, she had triplets. So you just never know. And you never know when your kids are going to be ill. My first one had 2,450 eyesight from the rheumatic fever, from the German measles, no doubt. My second one had a heart attack at 4.5 months. They told me the day she was born, they said, this one will never make it. She had 3 holes in her heart, and her stomach valve wouldn't close. They said she's not going to make her first birthday. That's what they told me on the table. And she was only this wide at her hips. Not her head, but her hips. That's what I measured on me. And my last one was mentally ill. He had something called bipolar disorder. It's a mental illness. He also had chronic depression and deep depression. And because I had all that, that's why I became a special ed teacher. But that's beside the point. No, it's not. It's because that's what I learned, and that's why I became a special ed teacher. But what's important to understand is you can't count on things. Now, those are physical things, okay? What about, well, one of them was mental things, wasn't it? What about political things? What about relationships? All those different things that you'd like to be secure from don't necessarily work. You know, when we think about the president of the United States, or any president for that matter, they're going to be surrounded by a group of people whose job it is to keep them safe. But we've had presidents in the United States. I'm not in the United States, I'm in Ecuador, but we've had presidents. I was born in the United States. We've had presidents who were shot, killed. Even President Trump got hit in the ear. You know, there's just no way you can absolutely guarantee anything. So how do we deal with this? I mean, I learned that you can't count on it with kids. I learned that you can't count on it with relationships. I learned that you can't count it on from your parents. And that wasn't even half the story. But how do you know what you can really count on? Well, the matter of fact is you don't. And the quicker you recognize that things happen, it just does. Things will happen. I remember, I don't know, it was my second or third car accident. I remember thinking to myself, you know, I was hit. Somebody hit me. Somebody else was driving. And I thought, well, that's what happens. And then when I went home and I thought about it later, I wasn't hurt. The car was damaged, of course, but I wasn't hurt. And none of my loved ones in the car were hurt. But I thought to myself, if I can recognize that having a car accident is not an unusual thing, I'm better off. Instead of freaking out, I just go, well, that happened. And it was helped by the fact that I knew a lot of people who were Latin American. I knew a lot of people from Mexico. And I learned from them, you just accept it. You just accept that things happen, and you sit back and you wait until somebody takes care of something, regardless of what it is. Even if it's a dog barking. Somebody takes care of something at some point. They just do. Maybe it's a police officer. Maybe it's a school librarian. Maybe it's a school principal. Maybe it's a school safety people. Maybe it's a work safety people. Maybe it's the police officer. Maybe it's, I don't know, military. Somebody's going to take care of it eventually. Or you. But you, making yourself miserable isn't going to make it any better. And it's not going to stop it from happening. If you can, at an earlier age than I did, accept the fact that things happen, you can't be where you want to be, you can't do what you want to do, you can't finish what you wanted to finish, your plans for the day are shot. So just sit back and relax and let it happen is a better option. Now, right now, the issues with the White House are causing a lot of anxiety to people all over. And there's most of it, you can't do anything about it. You just can't do anything about it. And if you're in that position where your power and your control doesn't make any difference at all, except if you act like a real idiot, you're going to have more problems. You're going to have problems from all kinds of people. They're going to be miserable. They're going to react to. You're going to have more people upset. You're going to have more frayed nerves, more grief that you have to, more apologies that you have to make. But if you just stop, and that's what the Latins have taught me, if you just stop and sit back and wait, somebody is going to have an idea of what to do about whatever has occurred. And if you do that, you'll be seen as the one of the group who took the most logical solution to the situation. Now, If somebody is bleeding, that's a different story. If somebody is having an epileptic fit, that's a different story. If someone needs CPR, that's a different story. Then you have to go and get some help, or call for some help, or scream bloody murder for some help. But then you have to do something. But in many cases, you don't have to do anything. Just wait. Sometimes you have to think fast, but most of the time, you just wait. Wait, watch, see what other people are doing, see what the situation really is. Put it together in such a way that you can analyze it with more logic and less emotion. It saves you a whole lot of loss of energy. Need to make apologies, need to explain yourself. Now, there are going to be triggers. Don't think there aren't, because there will be. There will be times when there's no way that you can keep from reacting in an inappropriate manner, let's say, or an abnormal manner. Being a caregiver of a PTSD war victim, I can tell you right now, and my father and my uncle were the same way. I can tell you right now, there's going to be times when things trigger them or me. I have CPTSD, and there are going to be times when getting over whatever it is that triggered you is tough. But that can be modified too. There are tapping, EMT, I think they call it. Tapping, you can tap your head. Deep breathing. Deep breathing can work for anybody. There's all kinds of breathing techniques that they suggest when you're stressed. The point is, reacting as though it's the end of the world is not the best way to treat yourself or the others in the situation. And it takes a long time to learn that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking to you about it. I want you to know that there is a way out. I want you to know that no matter what you do, there is technology, there is climate, there are people, there are sabotagers, there are numerous ways. There are robbers and thieves and aggressive people and mentally ill people, and there's tires that fail even though they're brand new. There's car engines that don't work even though they're brand new or they've just been fixed. Who knows? I mean, there are just so many aspects of life that can go so wrong so quickly without any indication. I was a pilot. Let me tell you, I remember flying along, everything looked great, and all of a sudden the plane fell 500 feet. Everything on the floor went up into the ceiling. I mean, it was really something. But I kept it level. I'm here. No, if you look back at things, that helps too. Sure, you should cry at a funeral, or however you express your grief. Some people laugh at a funeral because they're so completely overwhelmed. But whatever it is, if you let that out in an appropriate place, it can be incredibly helpful. But if you let it out inappropriately and let yourself completely fall apart, it doesn't help anybody. It really doesn't. And yet, when you have overreacted, if somebody tells you about it, it's embarrassing. It's nerve-wracking. I'm here to remind you today, simply because I feel it's really important for you to recognize, if you prepare yourself beforehand, if you say to yourself, gosh, everybody's in an accident once in a while. It could be with a bicycle, it could be with a motorcycle, it can be an accident in the house, in the kitchen, it can be anywhere. You can be in a car accident, of course. The young man who gardens for us has had both of his parents died in different times in car accidents. I mean, Can you believe that lightning can hit twice? Can happen. It does. But each time you learn something, and each time you can go back and reflect on it and try to do a better job, especially when it comes to relationships. Because I'm here to tell you, nothing is more important in your life than a relationship. It doesn't matter if it's with a tree, a dog, a cat, a bird, or all the people who cross your path. It will be a relationship that makes a difference if you get a job. It'll be a relationship that makes a difference if you finish college. It will be a relationship that makes a difference if you have a happy marriage or not. It will be a relationship that means you celebrate Mother's or Father's Day in a way that one would expect to. It could be a relationship that'll put you in the funny farm because you've lost your mind. I remember meeting a psychiatrist, and he said, yes, people really can drive you crazy. You think about torture and things like that, and people who have 2 or 3 deaths in a matter of weeks in their family. Those kinds of things happen. They just do. You build something, you think, you start a business, you think it's going to take off and be the best thing that ever happened to you, and it's a complete flop. Or you build a house and the next day a tornado takes it away. Things happen. They just do. And if you prepare, sometimes, now if that house was insured for a tornado, you probably will be all right, other than the emotional aspects of it and building it in a different way because you realize what you liked and what you didn't like. Then you can look at it in a positive light. And boy, that helps. Oh man, that really helps. If you can look back on something that you've done or something you've gotten involved in and see how it could be positive because you learned a lesson from it. Oh, that's fantastic. And always, 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 if you had any control over it, forgive yourself. If somebody else had control of it, you don't necessarily have to blame them. You can blame the stars, blame the more the moon was that day, whatever you want to blame. Excuse me. The most important point I'm trying to make with you is I don't care what your energy is, preserving your emotional reaction is really important. Because the more you do it, the more you're able to preserve your emotional reaction. That doesn't mean you don't show people what's going on. You say, I'm really sad, I'm really hurt, I really feel frustrated, I'm really scared. But to act completely out of control is very harmful to you and to everyone around you. So if you can remember this this little video that I put together today to try to help you understand some of the things in life that you understand better when you get older. And believe me, you don't stop learning at 40 or 50 or 60 or 70. And I guarantee you I won't stop learning at 80 because I've watched my husband. I've watched other people. I've listened to other people. I've purposely read books by other people. What is important is that you take whatever you need at the time, or you use whatever someone has suggested, and there is nothing more important than to learn from another person some information that really considers our emotion. And part of the reason I'm talking to you about this now is, yes, AI can give you the facts. Yes, AI can give you ideas and concepts and some of the things I'm talking about. But AI can't say, I've been there. I've been in a car wreck. I've had a baby. I've raised a child. I've started a business and failed. I failed a test. I failed a speech. I failed in a video. I failed editing. I failed in a basketball game. AI can't say that, but I can. I can say I failed at a gardening project. Tried again, but I have failed. And I think it's very important at this time in our life that we recognize that although we can get some answers, we can't get all our answers because we are human and we need to connect with other humans to get the complete picture, to have the level of understanding and depth of empathy, compassion, kindness, patience, whatever it takes to get through something you thought you had made secure. What, I bought the car insurance? I bought a new car. Yeah, I know. I found a really healthy man to marry so I could have a beautiful, healthy baby. Yeah, but there's just a lot of things. I put the money in my Social Security for all those years. I expected to get it back. I worked for that company for 19 years and 3/4, and then I lost my pension, my 20-year pension. Yes, it happens. It does. I've always taken care of my health, and I've got lung cancer. No, it happens. Never smoked. God, no, it happens. Anything can happen to your security. And the way to get over it is to learn to manage the fact that it's a normal thing for issues to come up in your life. But the best way to get past it is with a good relationship, someone you can talk to about whatever it is that's going on, someone you trust, someone who has kindness and empathy and understanding. Even if it's a dog. I have a dog here right now that just walked up to say hi. I mean it. They've discovered if you put your hand on a dog, your blood pressure goes down. There are so many ways that you can help yourself without having a drink or taking a pill or laying down for a massage or what. You could go for a swim. That would be nice. You could take a walk in the woods. That would be nice. Or you could call your friend. Just try hard to recognize things are going to happen. They're not picking on you. There's nothing wrong with you. It's not your fault. Things happen. Security is not guaranteed. No matter what you do, it's just not guaranteed. But it's wise to be ready for whatever comes and be able to take it and deal with it like a grown-up. Okay? So if you got any questions, put them down in there and I'll answer you. If you're down in there in the description, look up our nonprofit. We've been helping people for 34 years. And 2 of us are artists over 75, and we've done some artwork to remind you to take care of the earth. Love to have you take a look. Thank you, and I hope you join me again.